Hey everyone, Dan from On One Software here. For this perfect inspiration, I'd like to talk about what to do on a really rainy day when you've got the photo Jones, but you can't go outside to shoot. What I do is I like to shoot flowers instead. Flowers are wonderful. They're cheap, they make your house pretty, and they smell good, and they are very patient. You can photograph them for hours, and unlike a person, they're not going to get tired. You can get flowers just about anywhere. What I'd like to do is show you on this picture of a calla lily. This was just shot using a green wall in my house and a regular table lamp with incandescent light. And this was actually shot quite a long time ago. This was shot in 2003 with an old Fuji camera. So let's go and show you how you can have some fun with this on a rainy day with the perfect photo suite. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open this into layers by clicking Layers in the Module selector. I'm going to select Edit a Copy, and I always work in a Photoshop format in 16-bit. By working as a Photoshop file and in 16-bit, I'm making sure that I keep all of the color and detail, all the information I need, and each of my edits are applied to their own layer so I can go back and work on them again. Now I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. You'll notice this is from an old camera back in the day before the sensors automatically cleaned themselves, and there's just all sorts of nasty dust on this image. It would take me a long time to go through and remove the dust on this one manually. So I'm going to show you a quick automatic way to do that. Now before I do that, I'm just going to use the retouch brush just to grab a couple of the dust spots that are on the yellow flower itself. Just dab, 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 dab. I like to use the retouch brush in these low detail areas rather than the perfect eraser just because it is really fast and I'm not worried about filling it in with matching content. Now for all the stuff here in the green, watch this trick. I'm going to go to Perfect Effects and we're going to use the blur filter. So from the pop-up on the right hand side, select Blur. Now rather than using a regular Gaussian blur, which blurs the whole image equally, select the surface blur option. Surface blur will blur only like colors or like textured areas. Then adjust the halo amount until all the little dots disappear in the green. So in this case, I'm probably going to need something around 14 or 15. There's one little one that's hanging out. We'll go clean that up later. Now you notice that's done a great job of removing all the dust in my green background, but it's also blurred the flower. So here's the trick to getting the flower back in focus quickly. At the bottom of your filter stack, there's a pop-up called Blending Options. Just roll that down, and where it says Apply To, there's a little dropper. Click on the eyedropper, and then click on the green. And what that does is it applies the surface blur only to the green colors in the image. So you notice the flower snapped back into focus automatically. It's a color range selection that you can control. Of course, you can use any of the built-in color ranges, or you can use the dropper to pick a range, and then the range slider controls basically how fuzzy that selection is. So there we go. I've removed all the dust from the green without having to go through and do it manually. Now I want to convert this to black and white. So I'm just going to click on black and white from the module selector. I'm looking for a very vintage black and white darkroom look. You notice as soon as black and white loads in, the image is converted to black and white using some basic settings, and it looks really cool right off the bat. It's automatically set the white and the black points so that I have real whites and real blacks. Now we can go shopping for a cool look. I'm going to start in the 19th century processes. I'll click on the Quick View Browser button, and this will show me all sorts of beautiful preset options that I can use to get started with on my image. So I'll just scroll through until I see one that I like. There's some very normal or straight prints like platinum and palladium. There's some old-fashioned tintype and daguerreotype looks. There's also some very pictorial looks like Lord Alfred or Flatiron. I think I want something kind of warm and soft. Let's go with I think I'm going to use this carbon print neutral preset to start right here. No, actually I like the albumin print. Let's go with the albumin print option, and then I'll just turn the border off. So just scroll down on the right to the borders pane and turn the border off, and that automatically removes it. Now to fine tune this, we're going to use some of the tools over on the left hand side of the tool wheel. I'll start with the targeted brightness tool. With the targeted brightness tool, I can click on a color, drag left or right to increase or decrease the brightness of an area. I want to take the area that was green in the original. I'm going to turn the preview off so you can see the green color. I want to make that green a little bit darker. So all I do is I click where the green is and I drag to the left to darken it. So I can make that background very dark. If I drag to the right, you'll see how the green becomes much brighter and gets noisy. I want kind of a nice, deep, dark, almost black chocolate background. There we go. I could do the same thing on the flower. If I wanted to lighten the flower a little bit, I just click and I drag to the right to lighten it. Now I can do that, but I want to be careful watching right here. I don't want to lose detail in that petal. There we go. That looks good. I kind of like that dark, moody look anyway. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to add some detail to the image, really add some local contrast to make the veins in it pop out. Now I could use the detail slider to do that, just turn that up, but that adds detail to the entire image. And I don't want to add detail to the area back here that's out of focus. I really just want that detail to appear right here on the front. So we'll use the detail brush, and then all you do is just paint in where you want that extra detail to appear. You can always hit the Control-M keyboard shortcut to see your mask as you're painting. Just like that. These don't have to be perfect borders in this case. There we go. Let's turn the preview on and off here. I'm just going to hit the Tab key on my keyboard. That'll hide the left and the right panel so we can see just the image. And then down at the bottom, I can just toggle the preview button on or off to see before and after. So there's before, and there's after, just like that. Created a beautiful classic darkroom look on a boring rainy day with just some flowers that were hanging around the house. Thanks for watching. Oh, and if you want to learn more about this, check out the recorded webinar on botanical photography. The link is in the text below. Thanks.